Hey, what's up with it, y'all? It's the world's freshest, aka DJ Fresh, DJ Fresh, DJ Fresh, chilling with Thizzler. Make sure you subscribe below. Oh, I had it all planned out even before I did it. I knew it was gonna be a series. Like, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a series, because I always paid attention to. I just always paid attention to branding. You know what I mean? Like, it's better to do it, to have it ongoing, the same thing. And I also was like, yeah, I wanted to build it up to be able to do other people's main album too at some point. But I always have like the Tonight Show, like that's my thing. You know what I'm saying? That's like you say, an institute. I created that. But yeah, I always had that vision, like to do it with this person and with Tonight Show with this person. With this, it's the brand. You know what I mean? Like once you got the brand, you could do whatever. And I always wanted the brand to be bigger than me. At first, I wanted the Tonight Show to be bigger than who DJ Fresh was. You know what I'm saying? That way it can last longer. Like when I get old, let's say like my son or my daughter, they make beats, right? They could do it. They could do the Tonight Show with. They can keep it going because it's bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking Apple is bigger than Steve Jobs. You know what I'm saying? Or Windows is bigger than Bill Gates. You know, Thizzler's bigger than M-Dub. It's the name. You know, the brand. That's like, because you're gonna get old. You're gonna get old at some point. You know what I mean? People are gonna get tired of looking at you. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be that much harder to stay, I guess, relevant or whatever, as far as, because ultimately, like, when you put yourself out there, like your image is part of your brand. So I think it's more longevity in a name versus like me. Me is cool too, but the brand will outlive me. You know what I'm saying? That goddamn Coca-Cola. I don't know who that person is or what he looks like. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you feel me? Even Victoria's Secret, which is a secret. Nobody knows what she looked like. But she's still selling however many years later. Well, I always put produced by DJ Fresh on there. I wanted people to know. But when it first came out, I had trouble with it because at the time, nobody was doing that as far as like getting artists to rap on all original beats that wasn't their main album that they're pushing through their label. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of like, no, you can't do that. Like that's a whole nother album. Or what a lot of artists would do is they would kind of like stepchild it, like not treat it as serious as their main album, which was good because a lot of the best albums always come from when you're having fun. So people would just come to me and have fun. They wouldn't think about what they're doing too much. They would just do it. You know what I'm saying? But I always saw the magic in it. And then, like for example, like going back to Fab, when we did that first one with him, he freestyled the whole thing, right? And we put it, the perception was, when it came out, because it came out before Son of a Pimp, which was his debut with Thiz at the time, right? So the perception was he did a Tonight Show, and then the Son of a Pimp came out. So it was like a rollout kind of thing. Like this happened, then this happened. Whether that's true or not, I don't say that's true, but it's the perception of the people where it's like, oh, he did this, and then he did that. You know what I'm saying? And that was also my thing too. I always called artists early. I caught a lot of artists early before they went on to become, you know, who they became. Like even Mozzy, like I did a Mozzy project before he became, you know, before the Bladadah and all that. I think his Tonight Show with me was the first time he had did something with somebody from the Bay at that time. And then I think he went with, you know, Phil and all that, etc. later. But I always like to catch an artist early though, you know what I'm saying? Like catch them first, so that became a thing. I just followed what DJ Drama did, kind of, because DJ Drama wasn't making all those beats though. That was the difference. Like I was actually making those beats. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well at the time, I mean, okay, like even before that, I had like the Stalins, all the Live Wire. You know what I'm saying? But by the time I got to Mozzy, I'm not knowing how much Sacramento support the Bay Area. Like Sacramento support the Bay Area a lot, you know what I'm saying? So his people out there at the time had reached out to me. I had never heard of Mozzy at the time. I think he was just transitioning from Lil Tim to Mozzy, right? And yeah, they reached out. They reached out to me, and you know, we just worked. You know, we had a conversation, and you know, we did good business and shit. And I think it took a while to do though, like just because like, you know, at this time like he still was, you know, figuring out his way between like, you know, his personal life, what he had going on, and becoming a artist. You know what I mean? So, you know, shit take time because you know he was in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I think he had went to jail in between for a little bit or something like that. And then it took maybe like a year and a half to get it all done. But it was his people though, Kill Bill, that's his, I want to say it's his OG, that's what reached out to me. I always see him talking about Kill Bill. And his wife Max, them two was the ones that reached out to me initially. And yeah, we put it together. Like he came, we did it, I sent him all the beats, we did the photo shoot in Fremont and shit. And if you see the cover of that, he looks like totally different. It's like, it's crazy. Like, but again, I love being able to catch people early like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how that came about. I'm super proud of that dude too. Like just like what he's done. Anybody, you know what I'm saying, that start from point A and point Z. There is no such thing as you know, taking credit for somebody else's success. That's virtually a very arrogant and ignorant thing to say. We all like need each other, or we all can utilize each other to help along the way. But it's like I got the same 24 hours as you got the same 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like there is no taking credit for somebody's success. Like they got to put in that work. You got to put in that work, because you could give somebody else, you can give somebody else them same so-called opportunities or whatever, and they're not gonna end up in the same place as the next person, because it's on yourself to work, you feel me? If I could have it my way, I'd rather you just come pull up. Let's get in the lab together and vibe off of each other. You know what I'm saying? More so, if you out of town, I can't get to you, you can't get to me, then, you know, I'll send them to you or something, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'd rather just like pull up, let's get in the lab and make the dopest shit, you know, make the dopest shit. I feel like the dopest shit always come when both of y'all together. Cause you know, like anytime I email some shit, sometime like I know my beat, you know what I mean? And they came in on the wrong place or something, and it's like, it's out there, you know what I mean? It's like, you hear certain things that you might want to do to the song to make it be better, but that's the difference between being just a beat maker and then producing, you know what I'm saying? So I much rather like, let's be in the room together and make this shit happen, you feel me? So yeah, well, Jack, yeah, we did that project in 2 sessions over the span of like two weeks. Yep, we did that at Street Symphony in Fremont. I mean, he was just on. I pretty much knew everything that I wanted him to do when we hooked up. Like I had all the songs ready for him. I had the ideas ready for him, not the writing. I'm just saying, like I had the idea of the songs that I wanted him to get on and shit. You know what I'm saying? And he liked them, and yeah, we just knocked that shit out. Like we just knocked that shit out. We just got in there. I think he had a son with him, Lil J at the time, in there, and yeah, we banged that shit out, man. We was actually working on the Tonight Show with Stalin and Jacka. That was my next project from him. Then he probably passed, like, he was murdered. He got murdered, he died, he killed. Probably like a few days later after that, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. Like, dang, I found the, the budget for it, so I worked out the business, and then a few days later, it's like, damn, what? That's crazy. He just was, I'll tell you what stood out with Jacka. So he was the first person that I had recorded with. Well, a lot of rappers do this now, but he would do like, not all the time, but he had a formula where he would do like 2 lines at a time. So he would record 2 lines, and then he would be like, all right, stop. And then he'd be like, give me another track. And then he'll play it, right? And then he kind of would think of another line to say instead of writing it. He would think of it. So you might have to run it back maybe 2 or 3 times before you think of it. And then he'd catch it that 3rd time, then he was like, all right, give me another one. And he would kind of piece it together, because I realized that, like, me and Stalin been having that, we be having that argument sometimes. But like, I realized that, like, when there's a certain type of vibe that's gonna come out when you're writing it versus when you're thinking it in the moment, right? It's kind of like an argument. Like you ever been in an argument before? Everybody's been in an argument with their lady before at some point, right? Right? Now, when you in the argument, you kind of freestyling, because she says something to you, right? Then you got to interpret what she say, and then you got to say the right shit back to her, because ultimately you're just trying to get off your point and your communication to her right in the moment, right? That's like a freestyle. Then you go, when hours later or days later, you think of shit you should have said, right? You're like, damn, I should have said this. Woo, woo, right? So, I mean, it's kind of different, but I'm just saying, like, there's an element to, like, doing something in the moment versus, like, writing it down. You know what I'm saying? So for certain songs, like, he would just get in there and just, okay, but then certain songs was kind of deep, and he'd be like, no, you need to pen game, you know what I'm saying?